Let's find equations of both parallel and perpendicular lines. In this very first example, we're going to look at a parallel line that goes through 2, 1. My name is Angie. Let's go ahead and dive in with our goal of finding y equals mx plus b. Now, if you haven't seen my video on how to work with lines and that slope-intercept form, take a look at the link down below. Now, in our example, we're going through the point 2, 1, and we're parallel to 3x plus 4. I want to start by finding the slope, and we're going to find the slope from that reference line, which is our parallel line. And then we're going to find b, which we can find by plugging in that point. Let's go ahead and start by finding the slope from the parallel line. Now, parallel lines have the same slope. So in this example here, if I've got, say, a 3/2 as the slope of one line, any line that's parallel to that is also going to have a slope of 3/2. So in our example, our slope is equal to 3. This is the slope of the reference line, so I'm going to put a little subscript r there, but really, we know that the slope that we're looking for is exactly the same. So as I'm working on my equation, y equals mx plus b, I've got y is equal to, I know what m is, 3x plus b. Next, we're going to find b, and we're going to use that by using the point that our line goes through. We're also done with that reference line, so let's go ahead and just cross that guy off. From my point, I'm going to plug in x for 2, and I'm going to plug in for y, I'm going to replace that with a 1. So in our equation, I've got y, which is 1, is equal to 3 times x, which is 2, plus b. So I've got 1 is equal to 6 plus b. I just need to subtract a 6 from both sides, -6, -6, and I've got b. -5 is equal to b. If I go back up to my equation so far, I've got everything that we need. So y is equal to, I found m from the parallel line, and I found b, that -5, from the point that it goes through. In this next example, we also have a parallel line going through this point 0, 3. This one, though, is for you, and I want you to follow the same steps that we just did. Pause the video and then check back in, or you can follow along here with me. Now, I know that I want to start with that slope, and it's a parallel line. So if my reference slope is equal to -2, parallel lines tell me that the slope that I'm looking for is also equal to a -2. So my equation so far is -2x, y equals -2x plus b. Next, I need to find the value for b, and I'm going to do that using my point 0, 3. So I could plug in for x a 0 and for y a 3. But do you notice that we happen to have a y-intercept? 0, 3 lives on the y-axis, and that's exactly what b is. So I can skip right to b equaling 3. If you didn't catch that, no big deal. You can plug in your point and you're going to get exactly the same thing. Okay, so where's my equation so far? We've got it. So y is equal to -2x plus b, and b is equal to 3. In this one, we've got a line that goes through point 1, -1, but it's perpendicular to 2x plus 1. We want to do the same thing by starting with the slope of this line using our reference line, but we need to know something about perpendicular slopes. Perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other. So in my example here with the red line and the blue line, notice how they cross at a nice square or 90-degree corner. If my red slope is positive, which it is, that means that my blue slope is going to be negative. That's the opposite part. The reciprocal part means that we're going to flip the fraction. So if my red line has a slope of 1/2, my blue slope is going to have a slope of 2/1. That gives me a slope of -2/1 or -2. Okay, back to our example. In our example, the slope of the reference line, that perpendicular line, is 2. I know I need it to be opposite, so it's going to be negative, but I also need a reciprocal. So let's go ahead and write this as the fraction 2 over 1. So the slope that we are looking for is negative, and I'm going to reciprocate that. Flip it, negative 1 over 2. So here's our equation so far. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus b. Next, we're going to plug in the point on our line. We are done with our reference line, so let's cross that out. If I'm going to plug that point in, I need to replace x with a 1 and y with a negative 1. That's going to give us y, which is negative 1, is equal to negative 1/2 times x, which is 1, plus b. Let's move this up just a little bit. I have negative 1 is equal to negative 1/2 plus b. So I need to add that 1/2 to both sides to get b by itself, plus 1/2. I end up with negative 1/2 is equal to b. And that means that from my equation, I get y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus b, which is negative 1/2. I'll bet you did so great. Take a look at my next video. We're going to start learning about inequalities. Thanks for watching.